Hey guys, I had a very eye-opening experience happen to me, unfortunately, this Sunday. I say unfortunately, and maybe that's not the right word, because because of my experiences as a dog trainer, and because I've attended so many seminars and webinars, especially during COVID webinars, on aggression and dog body language and observation skills. And I worked for a very long time with a behaviorist who sort of specializes in aggression, and she's amazing at what she does. And then I had the advantage, and I say advantage, but it's like an unhappy advantage of living with a very dog reactive dog. So I have all these skills and experiences that have set me up for managing situations that you don't want to be in. So I was thinking about it and I thought, well, Kurt was with me, so my husband. Let me just give you a little example of what happened and then I want to talk about it some. Kurt and I went out walking with our largest dog, Hank. For various reasons, I don't tend to walk the small dogs, especially around where I live, and I'll get into that at some other point. So we do regular walks with Hank daily, if not twice daily. It's just a good excuse to go outside for us, and it's nice to go out with Hank. I really believe in going out one on one with your individual dogs if you have more than one dog anyway, so that's part of that process. So we're out walking Hank, and uh, two, I spot movement, and I see two large dogs whose breed will remain unnamed out loose running, and they're running hard. And I go, uh oh. And Kurt looks at me and he goes, oh no. And I'm not going to tell you all that happened in the situation, but basically, these two loose dogs who clearly belonged to each other or were friends, if not family members, spotted me, Kurt, and Hank and ran up to us. Their body language was fast, stiff. They had paleoerection, so their hair was standing up the spine. They were looking directly at us and they were not making any noise. So, what would you do? What would you think if these dogs were running up? Just with what I've told you, obviously you can't see them. Do you think this is going to be a friendly interaction? Is this going to be a standoff? What is this? So, first question is, what would you think is going to happen? What would you see and go, this is fine, this is bad? Obviously, by me saying, uh oh, I already had some opinions. And second, okay, uh oh, but now what do you do? And Kurt and I had a very good reaction, and I don't want anybody to be afraid. The situation ended as well as it possibly could. Um, but then, as Kurt and I are driving home, and nobody's been hurt, we start talking about all the techniques that I had thought of and that he had thought of, and he had thought of because I had told him about X, Y, and Z, and all these aggressive seminars I had been to, and this and that, and techniques. And I kind of went to Kurt and I said, you know, had this happened to somebody else, just normal people, or maybe some of my clients, I'm not sure that they would have known what to do or how to handle the situation. And truthfully, some of these very bad dog attacks you see online, I don't care about the backstory. And he was beaten and all this stuff. I don't care. This dog is attacking. And there's situations where the person did the best that they could, but they could have done better had they had knowledge about anything. And I won't go into big details. Nobody's at fault ever. Like you do what you need to do in the moment. But I turned to Kurt and I said, I don't know that if this had been a friend or family member or a client, that they would have known what to do had they had these two large breed dogs running up on them all of a sudden with their dog who's on leash, which is a factor, right? And so it made me start thinking about the happiness and safety of my friends, family, and clients. So I'm just putting this video out there. Is there an interest for me to put together some sort of worst case scenario webinar, maybe a couple hours long, where I talk about dog body language, techniques to get out of an attack, what to recognize, ways to evade, and really worst case scenario, what do you do if there is an event? Would that be something that people would like and feel is important and informational? For me, my world is surrounded by dogs, so I attend this stuff because I want to know. But realistically, this walk was not a training walk. This was not me going into a neighborhood deliberately looking for dogs to be loose and coming at us. This was real world. And I think back to my life as a person who has been walking forever, and especially as things have become more urban, I've been ran up on by loose dogs, either who did or did not have an owner nearby, probably 7 to 10 times. And I want to say 5 of those ended in small fights. And 3 of them, I just feel really lucky that they didn't end as badly as I thought they were going to. So that's not because I'm a dog person. That's because I'm a person who goes out in the world. I think that this information would be really valuable to everyone, whether or not they're dog people. If you're a person who goes walking, whether or not you have a dog that you walk with, if you walk at all, this might be information that could be really, really helpful. But, I don't want to create a whole webinar if nobody wants to know about this stuff. So I figured I would just talk a tiny bit, put this video out there, and see if there was any interest. And if there is, I might put something together and see if we can kind of end 2020 with an imparting of knowledge and techniques that could hopefully keep you and your family safe and happy. All right, so comment, please, if you think this would be fun, interesting, valuable, any of that kind of stuff. And I would love to also see what to do when your dog gets loose, and I could maybe include that. I probably will want this webinar to focus on safety and loose dogs and dog aggression a little bit. But if you're like, you know what, Claire, I would love a webinar on that, but also I would love a webinar on how to get my dog to stop jumping on my mom or something like that, just let me know. If there's enough interest, I will possibly create a series of webinars. And I say webinar because COVID. Okay, guys, so just comment below. Thanks.